If you look on any anxiety forum, you will hear plenty of people saying that therapy did not help them at all. This might discourage you from trying therapy, which would be a shame because it does help a lot of people. Bear in mind, if someone has got their anxiety under control, they are unlikely to spend much time on an anxiety forum. So anxiety forums are not a good place to look for success stories. But it is true that therapy doesn't help everyone. If you want to give therapy the best chance of working for you, it's important to understand why it fails for some people. Keep watching to the end and I will explain some of the reasons why therapy might not work. The most common cause for therapy not working is not turning up to the therapy. This may be because you're feeling too anxious to leave your home, or maybe even anxious about the therapy itself. Or maybe you didn't do the homework that the therapist set you, and you think they'll be angry or disappointed, which, by the way, they shouldn't. Naturally, if you don't turn up for therapy, it's not going to help you. A lot of people don't really know what to expect of therapy. You might expect to feel better after your first session, but this is actually very unlikely. Depending on the type of therapy, you might not see any benefit for quite some time, and might even feel worse at times in the early stages. This may lead you to quit. Others may think that the therapist is just there to listen to their problems, but the most successful therapies are the ones where the client is encouraged to make changes in their lives. There are many different types of therapy, and some are better for some conditions than others. For example, hypnotherapy can be very good with phobias, but there's very little evidence that it's effective for OCD or generalized anxiety disorder. There are some therapies that simply don't work, and there are others that sound crazy but actually work for some. For more information on different therapies, see my video which I will link above. The level of qualification and experience in a therapist can vary significantly. For instance, when I was counselling, I had done a lot of training in anxiety disorders and cognitive behavioural therapy, but very little on addictions or bereavement. So if I felt I wasn't best qualified for a particular case, I would refer to someone else who was, and any therapist feeling out of their depth should do this. But don't hide anything from your therapist. If you have a drink or a drug problem, it's important to tell them. If they don't have this information, then they will not know how to best help you. Like clients, therapists have a range of personalities, and sometimes the two just clash. A therapist who uses very direct language might not be suited to someone with social anxiety who might feel that the therapist is being critical of them. Sometimes you might not know why you feel a dislike for your therapist, or just tend to always resist them. This may be due to what's known as transference. This is when someone subconsciously reminds you of someone else from your life, and you transfer the feelings that you have for that person onto the therapist. The feelings could be positive or negative. It can also work the other way around, where the therapist experiences countertransference, as they subconsciously project their feelings about someone from their lives onto the client. Therapy can be a difficult journey, and you might just not be ready for it yet. While I would always encourage people to seek therapy as soon as possible, if you start before you're ready, it might not work out. For some people, the anxiety disorder has to get a lot worse before they make that step into therapy. But because it's so bad, it sometimes gives them a greater determination to make the therapy work. Sadly, some people have experienced terrible things in their childhood, like abuse or neglect. This shapes their beliefs and thought patterns so strongly, it can be very difficult to change them. But that doesn't mean it's impossible, so never give up trying. It just means it's likely to take much longer and be a harder journey. So there are many reasons why therapy might not work, but if you find the right therapy, the right therapist for you, and you give it your all, then therapy can make a big difference to the quality of your life. So do your research, learn as much as you can about your anxiety disorder and the different therapies available, and go for it. With over 21 videos on anxiety disorders, you can find lots of information on my channel, so make sure you subscribe, and please like and share this video so that others can benefit. Remember, the key to beating anxiety disorders is knowledge. Let's share that knowledge.